Testing, testing, testing. Do you need any more volume down?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, you guys, can you hear me in there?
Yeah, we can.
I'm going to kill your mics now. We're going to be starting with your mic.
Welcome to the Valley of the Sun here at GCU Stadium for the matchup between the 0-4 Jaguars of IUPUI and the 2-3 Lopes of Grand Canyon University. Lopes are coming off a heartbreaking loss to the New Mexico Lobos and will look to bounce back as they return home to GCU Stadium. I'm Fletcher Like alongside Taylor Bond for tonight's game. Taylor, what can we expect to see tonight?
Well, that's right. We're finally back at home with the men's team, and the Lopes are playing in just their second home game of the season. And after that first game, they already have the 11th highest cumulative attendance in the country. And GCU will look to feed off that energy of what is expected to be another packed stadium tonight. And that's looking like what we're about to get here. We got fans rolling in on the berm, and it looks like the Havocs are probably going to come in soon too, and people are starting to fill into the stadium, so it should be a great night. Right after this quick break, we're going to come back and talk with Alex Halis of the team.
Arguably will be the best stadium in the country. I can't think of one or seen the collegiate stadium any better. And it really comes to President Mueller with his vision and his commitment to the sport of soccer. He has invested a great deal of money into making this such a quality event. I can say I'm here because of that. You know, I'm here because of the fact that he wants soccer to be an important sport. You've got a beautiful stadium. Everything that you're looking at that stadium is new. Seats, individual seats. Then you have that room where people can just throw a blanket down and be a part of it. And you know that the Havocs group is going to really embrace this. And we're already working almost weekly on going out to the community and getting people to be a part of this. It could be one of the best atmospheres in collegiate men's soccer. With that stadium, we've been able to attract outstanding talent. We've also been able to attract national contenders throughout the country on our schedule. This summer alone with the Copa America, we will have teams training on our field. And with that, not only is it going to be a wonderful opportunity for our players to play on that field, but it's for the city. Phoenix now has Grand Canyon University Soccer Stadium. We are the only Division I team in the state of Arizona for men's soccer.
Welcome back to GCU TV here. I'm Fletcher Like alongside the fabulous Taylor Bond. As we caught up with Alex Halis this week actually, as he talks about how the season's gone so far and what the Lopes need to look to improve on here, and here's what he had to say.
I think we need to change is we need to be a little bit more aggressive. We need to score a lot more goals. We need to start attacking more, getting up the field more. You know, if we score more goals, you know, our defenders are doing very well. So I think if we get the scoring aspect, for sure we'll get wins out of it.
Now, Alex Halis came here last year from the incredible Syracuse University. Syracuse actually made it into the Sweet 16 back in 2014. Alex then came over in 2014 to play for the Lopes, and he's going to talk right now a little bit about his own personal play this season.
I think we need to change is we need to be a little bit more aggressive. We need to score a lot more goals. We need to start attacking more, getting up the field more. You know, if we score more goals, you know, our defenders are doing very well. So I think if we get the scoring aspect, for sure we'll get wins out of it.
Welcome back. Great things to hear from Alex Halis. They're looking forward to coming back to home. They're coming back tonight. They're playing in front of another 6,000 fans here tonight, playing against an IUPUI team that has been outscored 17-2 so far this season, and the Lopes will look to rebound on a 1-3 road trip and look to bounce back and hopefully come out with another win, feed off this crowd, and get some momentum going into the next 4 home games.
That's right, and kind of like Alex said, they started off, actually, he said they started off slow, but they started off fast with that momentum coming off of that first home game, and then they kind of came into those few losses. But I think it'll be a great night for them coming back into the stadium, and we'll see what happens right after this break. Stay here with us.
Grand Canyon University's newly remodeled golf course is thriving in the heart of Phoenix, featuring over 7,200 yards of expansive tees and tree-lined fairways, signature par 3s, greenside bunkers, premium greens, and a brand new clubhouse and restaurant. Experience a University Championship golf course this summer with great rates as low as $15 available now. Book your tee times at gcugolf.com. GCU is the university that never sleeps, moving at the speed of light, so we can give our students the competitive edge they need to succeed. And now, GCU is leading in the areas of computer science and IT. We prepare students to meet the demands of the fastest growing industry through our innovative IT programs in our College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. Using the latest real-world tools and an adaptive curriculum, GCU gives students the education they need today to excel in their careers tomorrow. Join the most inventive concept in education right now and position yourself for a future in the expanding world of IT. GCU offers fast-track options with courses in cybersecurity, cloud computing, systems architecture, and business analytics. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/IT.
Welcome back to GCU Stadium. The fans are filling up here as they get ready to introduce the starting lineups and do the national anthem and the prayer here at GCU Stadium. Just about 7 minutes until kickoff here on a beautiful Thursday night in the Valley of the Sun. Taylor, it's an exciting game. The week's winding down. What can fans expect to see going into this weekend? There's 3 home games between the men's team and the women's team. It's going to be a fun weekend of soccer here.
Definitely, and I think one of the really important things of this game, and actually this whole weekend for the men's team, is really just some momentum. They want to carry some momentum in, having that game here when they've won, coming into their second game after a few weeks off from being home. I really think they're just going to want to play aggressive and really be strong tonight, and they are. They're playing in front of their home fans, the greatest fans in the state of Arizona and all over the country, and I think they're really going to be excited to come out and get some momentum under their feet tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. The fans are out in full force. They're bouncing and jumping around already, and the game hasn't even started yet. The only men's Division I program in the state of Arizona, and it's a fantastic atmosphere that the GCU Lopes have created. The athletics department, the marketing department, and the Havocs have created here at GCU Stadium on the campus of GCU. And the Lopes really are going to look to utilize experience here tonight, and they're going to look to use the experience of Hadim Say and from Alex Hollis, who played for Syracuse and made it to the Sweet 16 with the Syracuse Orange. And Hadim Say is somebody that we both like a lot. He's somebody that's going to be enforcing, right? So Hadim Say is going to be the holding down that midfield, and Hector Montalvo with Olabarria are going to be those defensive players for the Lopes with Kendall Day in goal. And then Damian Herman and Nikki Jackson will be the 2 goal scorers up top for the Lopes. For IUPUI, they have Josh Gray in goal and Ian Souza in the midfield. Those 2 players are going to be players you're going to want to look at tonight. Gray, the goalkeeper, is in his 4th starts, but he's allowed 11 goals in 3 games that he's played in so far. So the Lopes will want to get shots on goal, and hopefully that they can put a bunch of balls in the back of the net, rung up the score, and give their fans something exciting to see. What are you looking for, Taylor? Here, what are your keys to the game?
Exactly. Well, there's 3 main keys to the game that I'm going to look for tonight, and I think really coach is going to look for, and we're all kind of going to look for out of the team and out of the practices they've had coming off these road games coming back home. The first one is really going to be shots. IUPUI has been outscored, like you said, 17-2 in front of 4 games, and we're coming off some losses on the road. We're really trying to score here. We're really trying to be aggressive. We're not messing around. We need to road,
Jaguars.
but they're coming back.
And
I
yo,
feel like we're
Grand
seeing
Canyon
them
University
really
and
proud.
Lopes.
They're really going to have some confidence, I
Accompanying
think,
the
going
teams of
in
the
front of this
International
huge
Walking
crowd,
students
and
from
it's really
Christ
going to carry
Lutheran School.
hopefully into how they play this evening. So those are all going to be major keys, and the Lopes will look to score more goals because they know their defense will be a highlight of the season, and that's really what they're going to focus on tonight. The one mistake that we don't want to see the Lopes make is coming in overly confident, though, because IUPUI, of course, they haven't had the strongest season so far, and we don't want to overlook that. We don't want to come in thinking this is going to be an easy night. So we'll see what happens.
And now let's
We're
meet
gonna
the
get ready
starting lineups for tonight's
national
contest.
anthem
First of
and
all,
our
for
prayer
the
and
Jaguars,
starting lineups right now here at GCU Stadium.
a defender is a sophomore from Avon, Indiana, number 2, Trevor Simicula. Forward, a senior from Durango, Mexico, number 9, Uriel Macias. At defender, a sophomore from Linden, Michigan, number 12, Ben Thornton. At midfielder, a sophomore from Chesterton, Indiana, number 14, Jared Odell. Grand Canyon University and Lopes. At defender, a senior from Asheville, England, number 2, Jordan Slack. At defender, a freshman from El Paso, Texas, number 6, Hector Montalvo.
Yeah, the Lopes played in white last time, and hopefully they play in white all the time. They look great out there in white. GCU's played 4 1-0 games on their last 2 road trips, playing 4 games. Lopes only won 1 of the 4, and were heartbroken a couple times. But the Lopes know that their defense is solid with Jaime Olabarrio, Hector Montalvo, and Aiden McGaughlin, with Jordan Day and Jordan Slack back there. But the Lopes are going to score more goals, and this is a perfect opportunity for the Lopes to gain confidence back and gain that momentum back that they saw that they could create in that first game, especially with all these fans in the stadium tonight.
That's right. I think that's a really good scheduling move. You come off these losses, or you come off, a long road schedule coming back home. You need a game that's really going to build your confidence. You don't want to just keep piling on, the struggle games, the lack of confidence games, those losing games. You want to get a game here at the perfect timing and the perfect time of your schedule to really get that momentum, get your things back in order, get your head on right, and hope to come out with, a solid win this evening.
Yeah, I'll look to see the Lopes put on a barrage of shot attempts against the Jaguars goalkeeper, Gray. He's in his 4th start tonight, as we harped on. He's allowed 11 goals in 3 games so far, piling up a 3.67 goals against average, and the Lopes will really need to put shots on goal and test this sophomore goalkeeper for the Jaguars from Georgia. He went to Milton High School down in Georgia, and the Lopes will really look to show that offensive prowess that they showed in that first game here at home, yet again scoring 4 goals in that contest against the University of Central Florida.
It looks like we're getting ready for our national anthem and our prayer this evening at GCU Stadium.
As we begin this evening's competition with the word of prayer. Tonight, led by Camden Steele.
Camden Steele is giving our prayer this evening.
And a GCU cheerleader. Translating tonight will be Associate Professor of the College of Theology, Sammy Alfaro.
If you please take this moment to pray with us. Dear God,
Camden, and Professor Aflaro. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we now honor America with the singing of the national anthem. Tonight performed by the 6th through 8th grade choir from Christ Lutheran School, under the direction of choir director Jason Mangles. Thank you, Christ Lutheran School.
That was the 6th grade choir from Christ Lutheran School singing that national anthem this evening out here in GCU Stadium. Looks like a little bit more fans are rolling in just before the start of this game. Looks like the grass brim is almost completely full. It's also freshman night this evening. All freshmen got 2020 graduate t-shirts. Wishing I was a freshman again just so I could get that free shirt.
Yeah, it's going to be a perfect night. This is a perfect game at a perfect time for a study break. If people are getting bogged down by the first 2 weeks of classes, they're in their third week here, come out to a soccer game. It's always fun to come out, get some fresh air, watch some fantastic sporting events going on campus, meet new people, and give your mind a mental break, because it's been studies have shown that if you get out, go do something as you're on your study break instead of just watching TV or something, you're going to learn more. So perfect opportunity, soccer and study break.
That's right. And this is a big weekend actually for soccer, as the men will play again on Sunday against the Pacific Tigers, and the women also play on Sunday as well, at home of course. The women play at 1 o'clock, the men play at 7 o'clock. So it'll be a full weekend for everyone here at GCU Stadium.
Both teams are getting ready, getting in their huddles. They're taking their ceremonial starting lineup pictures. Kendall Day looks to be inside that team huddle, pumping everybody up, letting them know, hey, we may have lost 3 of 4 on the road, but we're back at home. We've got 6,000 fans behind us. Let's go. We got the fans behind us. We've got the support. We have the atmosphere. Let's build on it. We know what we can do. Let's go out there and win this game.
That's exactly right. And the energy should be awesome tonight. You know, it is a Thursday night. Like we said, this is just as packed as we've seen it here in the stadium, and the guys should be ready to go, looking for a victory this evening. This is actually the first time GCU faces IUPUI, and the 4th time the Lopes will face Pacific, which will be, like we said, on Sunday. Seems like we've gotten that schedule, you know, first time face-off on the schedule this year, both on the men's and women's side, having first time matchups between a lot of the teams, which can kind of be interesting, you know, for us as fans and viewers, and for the team in general, because like we've seen that with the women facing off a few teams they'd never met up before, you know, it kind of, that first half can be a little inconsistent, not knowing how the other team plays, but we'll see how this game starts off.
Lopes moving from left to right on your screen in the all-white uniforms. IUPUI in the maroon jerseys playing from right to left across your screen. Lopes will look to build out of the back with Hector Montalvo and Edie McLaughlin, your 2 center backs tonight. Jaime Olabarria has moved out wide left with Jordan Slack on the right side. Hadim Say will be that catalyst between the midfield and the defense as the Lopes get the ball in the backs early. And we'll look to get it back out wide to create another opportunity.
You have a good mix of players with, rookie time this year and then lots of experience as well, varying, from all 4 years freshman to senior. So you have a really good mix, and I think that can be important when you have that diversity. When you have a lot of freshmen on the team, it can be, fresh and inexperienced, but when you have a lot of seniors, you don't get that young energy. So the Lopes really have, that advantage, I think, with having such wide variety of year eligibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the players on the team and in the starting roster have already played multiple seasons for the Lopes. Herman and Radia in their sophomore years as the Lopes get the ball up top. No foul called at the edge of the area. And the Jaguars are on a counterattack quickly, but the Lopes win it back at midfield. Alex Hallis looking to get that foul called, but not getting the call from the center referee.
And when we talked to Alex Hallis earlier in the week, he emphasized the importance of playing aggressive, playing smart, and really going for those goals. Like he said repeatedly, it's all about scoring, and that's really what they're going to do tonight to get back on top. He mentioned that they want to get their name out there, they want to be recognized, and even though they've started off a little disappointed as a team, they really look to make this mid-season time count and make it worth it.
Yeah, I walked the pitch this morning, or this afternoon actually, and talked to Sean, the backup goalkeeper, Sean Spitzer, and he said that the forwards have a lot of confidence going into this game, knowing that the Jaguars have a 17-2 goal differential coming into the game, but they didn't want to use that as an excuse to come out flat. They wanted to come out with confidence, but real confidence, not arrogant confidence. And hopefully you'll see that here early on as the Lopes have gotten the ball in dangerous areas very early on and are using good combination play right now up the right side. Jordan Slack whipping a ball in very dangerously, but it's right into the stomach of Gray. And the Jaguars will look to build out of the back now.
Now Coach Heineman is in his second season here with GCU, came on last year. They kind of started building a new foundation last year and then into this year, hoping to have, a stronger years to come as they kind of get, those first few years out of the way, getting to know the team a little bit better, creating that GCU culture within this men's team here.
And one thing that Shellis Hinman and his staff have always harped on, and I could hear it last year from broadcasting on the touchline, was that they always wanted to be in possession. And you don't want to give a ball away easily and give the ball back to the other team because you can't score goals when the other team has the ball. And that's what you'll see all night. If the Lopes don't have something going on one side, they'll play the ball backwards and switch it all the way around. Lopes got lucky that there was a foul called there, but the long ball up to the top is a good thought there from Hector Montalvo. Unlucky touch there, but thankfully the Lopes got the foul call, and Alex House will stand over it before whipping a ball in here on this free kick.
And Coach Brian Barnett for the Jaguars is actually in his first season here with the Jaguars. He came from Bradley University. He spent 7 years there on staff and then came over to coach for the Jaguars. So, roughly new to the program. That can maybe say a little bit for their slow start as well. That can be challenging to come into, a new program and go in full force.
Nikki Jackson called off sides on that ball into the dangerous area. Just missing on his shot attempt. Gray will take the free kick out of his own area. And a name we're going to say a lot, Hadim Say wins the header at midfield. A big, strong central midfielder for the Lopes, wearing the captain's armband tonight. And he's somebody that you'll want to watch all season long. He's going to be the one controlling the midfield for GCU. As Montalvo whips one wide left out to Olabarria. Throw in for the Jags, far side. Tussle down in the far corner, and Olabarria gets it clear all the way to midfield. A lot of long ball action going on between both teams right now. Not a lot of play on the ground between the teams. And the Jaguars are looking to counter there, but a good stop by McLaughlin. Ball in, but an offsides call against Macias. A dangerous ball whipped in there from the right side of the Jags, but a good defensive step before the kick. Drew Macias offsides, and the Lopes are back in possession. Jittery start here, Taylor. What can you account the jitters to early on?
Well, kind of like I said before, this is the first time these two teams have seen each other, and GCU's coming off some road games, not doing as well as they expected. I think they're coming out here in front of all these fans, and there's expectations. You can't deny the pressure that they might feel from playing in front of their home fans in this huge stadium, and also playing a team that they don't really know what to expect. And same for the Jaguars. They're coming into this huge stadium. It can be a little bit intimidating for the opposing team, knowing what GCU men can do. And I think, that brings with the culture that they're not really going to know what to expect from each other, and just kind of shaking that off in the first few minutes here of this game.
Radia brings the ball down to the touchline and brings a good ball back towards Nikki Jackson, but the ball is scuffed on the shot and rolls right into Gray's stomach. Now the Jaguars have it deep down the right sideline. Poor cross in, and the Lopes are back in possession, looking to build quickly. Errant pass gives the ball right back to the Jaguars, and they'll look to slow things down.
Get all the great GCU videos by subscribing to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU.
Say back in possession, finds Nibles. Jordan Slack streaking down the right side. Hollis finds him. The ball is whipped in. The ball is cleared out by the Jaguars, but just as far as Say in the middle of the field.
Definitely a slow first few minutes for both teams. You can see that the midfield for the Jaguars, they're kind of, not really sure where their feet are at right now. They're kind of slow off the touch, but, like we said, as expected, the Lopes look to recover for this victory tonight.
Yeah, both teams with a little bit of errant passes, but the Lopes' passes are looking a little bit more pungent, with a little bit more kick to them. No pun intended, I should say, as the Lopes are passing with intent, and that ball right there just goes to nobody for the Jaguars, and the Lopes are back in possession. They just need to be patient. Eventually things are going to work. They're getting balls in dangerous areas. Eventually a cross is going to find a foot or a head of somebody in a white jersey, and the Lopes will be able to capitalize on it. Another dangerous ball down to Jordan Slack, and they're going to continue to pressure Nick Anderson down the Jaguars' left side. 1-2 between Hollis and Radia. Ball is scuffed, and Nikki Jackson falls on it. Goal, GCU.
That's exactly what they needed from Nikki Jackson right there. He knows his right timing, he knows his placement, and he's known for those close goals right there early on, and he does it again. He made an early goal when they played here at home with their opening game, and he does it once again. That's what we expect from Nikki Jackson. He comes out, he plays clutch, he plays where we need him to be, and that was awesome. We needed that early on as well.
Yeah, confusion to the back for the Jaguars. The ball got sent into the middle. The ball fell to what looked like Radia, but then the ball got scuffed by the right back for the Jaguars. Nicky Jackson was sitting there waiting for it, and he slotted it home nicely, just like a clinical striker would do.
And we will talk a little bit about Nicky Jackson, too. He has a lot of experience. He's traveled all over actually playing, and he's said to be one of the best talents in the United States. He's begun his journey back when he played in Utah to train with a Major League Soccer member, Real Salt Lake. After training with RSL, Jackson also ended his journey with the top team, MLS FC Dallas. And he got a taste of that everyday life as a professional athlete and training at the highest level. So I think that comes with his confidence, that comes with his, attacking skills and those, clutch goals as they come in handy. He's had that experience. He knows what it takes, and he's trained with the best of the best.
Absolutely. Alejandro Radia and Christian Ramirez also played with FC Dallas along with Hector Montalvo this summer. So FC Dallas really liking players from GCU.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicky Jackson puts in his third goal of the season with that strike. A little ball that fell to him. A little poach goal there, and the ball is on the right side again with Alejandro Radia. Ball into Alex Hollis. Jordan Slack plays a ball in. It's too long and too high for anybody in a white jersey. Goal kick for the Jaguars. GCU leading 1-0 here in the 12th minute of play. And it looks like the Lopes will have a lot of possession all night long, continuing to win balls back without even really trying. The Lopes will continue to get the ball wide. Jordan Slack is going to be working hard tonight down the right flank for GCU. And Hadim Sey is going to continue winning balls in the air like that all night long.
FC Dallas has a long history of, winning and bringing professional athletes into the United States and all over the world. They actually began their reign in 1966 at the World Cup match in England, when it was then later brought into the U.S. It's recognized as one of the greatest sports visionaries in American history, the entire organization.
Throw in for the Jaguars near side. And the Lopes win it right back. Alejandro Radia winning that ball in the midfield. McLaughlin will find Montalvo on the right in the middle. And Montalvo will look to find a streaking Olabarria down the left side. A beautiful ball there from Montalvo, the freshman. And Olabarria is going to try to win the ball back.
Yeah, freshman from El Paso, Texas. Also a member of FC Dallas. He also played for the United States U19 national team. Was the 2015 U.S. Soccer Development Academy national champion. He was also crowned the Slovakia Cup championship. They defeated Russia 2-1, and that was actually just in 2016. He's trained alongside the Mexican national team as well. So, a young player with a lot of experience already under his belt. So, a long way to go, a lot of potential from him.
And the Lopes will look to be patient all night long. They're not going to force anything, knowing that the Jaguars have been outscored 17-2 and now 18-2 here as the Lopes are up 1-0 here in the 14th minute of play. And Sey wins another ball in the midfield, really enforcing his will on his opponents right now in the midfield. Little cute chip ball over the top to Radia is cleared off the line by Thornton, and the Lopes have a throw-in on the far side.
Sey kind of makes it look easy, too, when he gets those moves and makes contact with the ball. He makes it look so graceful, and he's so poised as a player. Transfer from Monroe College. Monroe College made it to the junior NCAA national championship in 2014. He earned All-American honors and was named to the all-tournament team. So quite a nice resume for him in the junior college division.
Herman cuts one back, tries to chip one in with his left foot to the far post. Nothing doing there, but the Lopes win it right back and will try to build out of the back with McLaughlin and Montalvo. Quickly up to Alex Hollis, who gets some fancy footwork. The ball falls to Damian Herman, who tries to find and feed a one through to Jackson. But a good defensive step and tackle from the Jaguars clears the ball, but just as far as another white shirt.
As we spoke in pregame, Alex Hollis transferred here from Syracuse, a huge university. What does that kind of mean for his experience in bringing that to a school like GCU, coming from such a huge university and a huge soccer program?
It really brings the experience of playing against good quality opponents. He made it to the Sweet 16 with Syracuse in his sophomore year as a starter. Jordan Slack down the right side, plays one in, but Anderson clears it off the line for a corner kick. And Alex Hollis is looking to play in Greece after his sophomore year with Syracuse. Syracuse, a large university in New York, as Jordan Slack will actually win a throw-in on that cross, and the Jaguars will clear the ball out.
Men's basketball begins a new season this November. Score your 2016-2017 season tickets today to secure the best seats and be a part of the action all season long. Get your tickets today at lopestickets.com.
Yeah, basketball's going to be fun this year. They have U of A on the slate, at U of A in Tucson. They have San Diego State and Louisville here at home. Those are going to be packed houses.
Yeah, Midnight Madness is just around the corner, I think, the beginning of October. That's always a huge event. I think everyone who's everyone at GCU knows about the event, plans for the event, and is there to attend.
And I like what athletics is doing here with men's soccer and women's soccer, building a stadium that rivals GCU Arena here, as both facilities are absolutely beautiful and both can fit just about the same amount of people. And if fans are coming out in droves for a soccer game, imagine what they can do for a basketball game.
That's right.
Louisville making the NCAA tournament consistently, in San Diego State a big threat and team in the Mountain West Conference every single year, playing against New Mexico and UNLV, two other powerhouse basketball teams in the Mountain West Conference. Lopes slowly building out of the back, say Montalvo and McLaughlin just casually playing the ball. Ball gets over the top to Damian Herman. Defense caught looking a little bit there. Ball far side, Olabarria with the ball. He'll find Say in the middle. And then they'll switch it all the way back over to Jordan Slack, who will whip this one in first time. Slips all the way through to Radia, and Olabarria will play one and slips and falls just over the top of Nieblas and out for a goal kick. Substitution coming. Number 17, Wedner Del Monte, one of two walk-ons here for GCU. The other one being Charles Keating. Not in the starting lineup tonight. And Wedner Del Monte coming in for Nicky Jackson, the goal scorer, back in the 9th minute. 19 minutes gone by so far with this goal kick from Gray. And the Lopes win the header, and now Nieblas with the ball yet again. A little fancy back heel from Radia, and the ball is right back to Nieblas and Say, who loses it on a heavy first touch. The Jaguars are countering now. Lopes quickly back behind the ball. Good recovery runs from every single Lopes defender and midfielder there to get back behind the ball and stop any Jaguars counterattack.
Jaguars are looking a little bit more quick on their feet now into these later minutes, looking a little bit more alive You can tell they're really going for the ball, trying to make those touches now, probably feeling the pressure now that the Lopes have scored on them early.
And a little fun story, I've actually played intramural soccer against both Wedner Del Monte and Charles Keating, both of them absolutely obliterating the team. And that just shows when they walk onto a Division I soccer team what they can do at a recreational and just for fun level. Charles Keating scoring the winning goal actually in golden goal overtime in the intramural championship. Just a little bit salty about that, but I'd like to see him out there for the Lopes and not on the intramural pitch. Fortunately, he's not in the starting lineup today. He has started 4 games so far for the Antelopes, and they're slowly building out of the back yet again, something you're going to hear from us all night long. Say, McLaughlin and Hector Montalvo, the 3 strong defensive players in the middle of the pitch for the Antelopes. And they'll just look for invitations to pass up through seams and find attacking runs for the Lopes. Herman tries to get that one, but the Jaguars defense heads it clear. Jags looking to counterattack here through Aguilar, but they'll play it all the way back to Gray in goal. Gray in an orange top, black socks, black shorts. Jaguars in all maroon and the Lopes in all white tonight. Handball is called right in the middle of the field, and the Lopes will have a free kick here in the 22nd minute of play.
Yeah, the Jaguars, like we've spoke again, they've really struggled to score offensively in the first 4 matches of the season, having only scored 2 goals, both in the same match against Butler.
The Jaguars have played quality competition all season long. Butler, DePaul, just to name a few of them, and they're playing a strong GCU team that is looking to build yet again on another season with Shellis Heidemann at the helm. Next year they're eligible for the NCAA tournament, and that's the year that they'll really look to push to win the WAC outright. They're trying to win it this year just to prove a point, and they're going to try to win it next year, obviously, knowing that there's postseason, there's play after the season. It doesn't just end. The Lopes will look to use that as a confidence builder and a momentum builder for next year's, say, way up the field defensively. A workhorse for the Lopes.
That's right, and Coach Heinemann, you know, no stranger to winning with 475 wins. He's the 12th highest winning percentage in the NCAA, which is quite impressive. He's brought quality talent into the conference, you know, and he really knows what the conference needs and what GCU needs to be on top. He previously coached at Southern Methodist for quite a long time and was quite successful with that team. But looking to come here, like you said, and win the WAC this year, you know, with a brand new stadium, they have all the right qualities, all the right tools they need to really become a powerhouse in the WAC and then hope to go on to, you know, possibly the national tournament next year, which is sooner than, you know, we even realize.
Jordan Slack slides one all the way across. Alejandro Radia winning a corner kick on the far side near the scoreboard. Alex Hallis will come over to take the free kick. The big boys are coming up for the Lopes, Montalvo and McLaughlin coming up from the back, and Jordan Slack and Alejandro Radia will be the 2 last men in defense. Nobody up at the 50-yard line for the Jaguars. Whipped in and cleared off the line. Jordan Slack wins the header, and Aiden is quickly back defensively to stop any threat. Good 1-2 passing from the Lopes right now, with their Del Monte coming in and keeping possession for the Lopes in tight spaces. And the Lopes will slow it back down and look to build, get it out wide, look to threaten with a ball in the middle. Fancy footwork there from Hallis, and he's still going.
He is quick on his feet, too. You almost lose track of the ball just watching his feet.
House still with the ball, gets it off of his foot from a Jaguar. Now the Jaguars are countering. Slowed down by the Lopes. And Radia is now, Herman is back in possession. Del Monte, Meg's a defender, now has multiple red shirts around him. He's still working hard to win the ball back, but a big boot upfield clears the ball all the way back out to Kendall Day, who hasn't had to use his hands yet tonight.
Del Monte, that walk-on. He is a junior, but he appeared in 12 games last year with 4 starts. He attempted 10 shots with 3 on goal. He's originally from Haiti. He plays here now for GCU and has really made, his showing here with the Lopes. Sometimes walk-ons come onto a team, they kind of linger as, on the practice squad or on the bench, never really seeing any game time. But he's really shown out. Both the walk-ons really have come out with some powerful stats this year already.
Absolutely. Del Monte's a fun story as Uriel Macias gets the first shot off for the Jaguars, but it's wide left of the goal.
Don't miss the next men's soccer home game against Pacific, Sunday, September 18th at 7 p.m. here in GCU Stadium. If you can't come in person, check it out on GCU TV with pregame beginning around 6:50.
Lopes continuing to keep control of the ball. Montalvo and McLaughlin and Say and Jordan Slack getting a lot of touches on the ball tonight. Not typical of a lot of defenders to be so good with their feet, but they are here at GCU. A great ball in from Jordan Slack to Nibles. Del Monte wins the ball, but loses it off of his foot, and it's going to be a goal kick. Great offensive attack there from the Lopes. A dangerous, threatening run there from Del Monte Wedner and Nibles down the right side, and Lopes will continue to try that, attacking down the left side with Nathan Silva now in at left back. Anderson's slotted back into the middle. Jaguars will look to bring in more defensive-minded players here to try to slow down the Lopes attack. They're attacking yet again. 4-on-5 opportunity. Lopes pass from Hallis is just too far for Damian Herman. And now the Jaguars are back in possession here in the 28th minute. Olabaria wins the ball, and it goes out of bounds on the far side for a throw-in for the Jaguars. And if you're asking what IUPUI is, it's Indiana University, Purdue University of Indiana. Long ball over the top. Herman tries to cut it back over the top of the defender, but the defender is there to stop the ball. And the Lopes have a throw-in on the far side. So Indiana University and the University of Purdue have combined together to make a university in Indianapolis, and it's called IUPUI. Both schools have an accreditation in the system. It's very interesting to us on the West Coast, but very common over there. There's another school called IPFW, Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne. So another campus that is of that Indiana and Purdue school system. So it'd be similar to almost an ASU UA kind of school.
Okay.
University of Arizona, Arizona State University coming together, making a campus, and both of them having a grip and a hold of how the university runs. But it's its own university, which is very interesting and mind-boggling at the same time. Like, how does that work? Who has power? Who has the reign over what credits or what? But they make it work. And a lot of people decide to go to these kind of schools. So obviously they're doing well academically and athletically. If IUPUI has athletic programs, both programs, IPFW, IUPUI, have athletics program. IPFW has a fantastic men's volleyball program. So they both play in the Summit Conference over in Indiana. The Lopes have the ball back in possession and will look to build out of the back as we got a little bit off track there. But a mind-boggling type of university. But all that matters right now is soccer. Ball given away. Del Monte has the ball. He's attacking it. 3 different defenders, 4 to come back. A ball out to Radia. Excuse me, Herman gets the ball. Fancy footwork. Finds Slack. Ball whipped in. And ricochets off of maroon jerseys and out of play. Olabaria gets it at about midfield.
Jaguars looking a lot more alive than they have, I think, all game. They're starting to hustle more, quicker on their feet, really keeping their good eye on the ball. Haven't seen a lot of aggressive attacking just yet from them, but, you know, that's good on the Lopes' part, good defense.
And I like the little chip passes from Say and Jordan Slack into Radia and Herman.
Little action in the midfield there.
They're not getting a lot of pressure once the ball's been whipped into them. They have enough time to take the ball down with their chest, bring it to the ground, and find another white shirt quickly. And the Lopes will look to continue using that. If the Jaguars aren't going to pressure them off the ball in the air, continue doing what you're doing, eventually things are going to work. And we've seen things work. They just haven't been able to put the ball in the back of the net more than one time. Number 6, Pape Inje into the game for the Jaguars. And the Lopes are back in possession yet again. But Del Monte is offsides. The only man keeping him on was Chuchuma on the right flank. But Del Monte left early. The junior from Haiti went to Mission Hope High School, one of 2 walk-ons here from GCU. Lopes clear it all the way back to the Jaguars' defense and win the ball back yet again. Hollis working in the midfield.
He is all over the place. You know, we see that quick footwork from him, and we see that speed, and those really become your critical players. You know, we see it on the women's side too. Mila Benedetti is very similar. You know, she's kind of all over the place. You see her with a lot of contact with the ball. De Vera as well for the women. She, you know, is kind of all over the place, and you see them make those critical moves. And that's kind of what Alex is doing this evening.
Yeah, we saw that in the very first game of the season. Damian Herman scoring in the 4th minute of action just because he pursued a ball that you wouldn't think to pursue. The goalkeeper had the ball at his feet and took a big touch, and then all of a sudden Herman was right on his feet and had to just clear it off of Herman. The ball ends up in the back of the net, and the Lopes are up 1-0 in the 4th minute, and the fans went absolutely nuts. And that's something that proves that hard work isn't for naught here in the sport of soccer in a 90-minute game when the clock doesn't stop. The ball is always moving. Hard work always pays off, and something that the youngsters can really look up to as the ball is sent up to Njai. Tussle around between Njai and white jerseys. Montalvo and Say win the ball back. Montalvo is farthest upfield he's gotten all game except for the corner kicks that the Lopes have had. Ball's out wide to Niblas. And he'll send it all the way over to Alejandro Radia, who brings it out to Olabaria. Senior defender gets the ball up to Del Monte. Whipped in, header, just over the top of the head of Niblas.
If you're visiting campus for a game this fall, why not stay at the GCU Hotel, featuring comfortable rooms, a resort-style pool, and a Canyon 49 grill. It's the perfect place to stay when coming to GCU. Book a room today at gcuhotel.com.
First cross from Jordan Slack is blocked off the line on a sliding attempt from Jaguars defender. He whips another ball in. But there's going to be an offsides call on the second cross from Jordan Slack, and Jaguars have won an indirect free kick in their own defensive third. Substitution getting ready for the Jaguars. It's going to be Sean Sia when the referee welcomes him on the next dead ball.
He is a sophomore. He actually played last year as a freshman in 14 matches, making 2 starts as a freshman. He had 3 shot attempts. We actually see a lot of those powerhouse freshmen, you know, on both teams on a wide spectrum of conferences who really come out and make, you know, powerful freshman years, and that really leads the fire not only for their team, but, you know, for their future success, you know, in their sporting career.
Yeah, Hector Montalvo, one of those highly touted players out of high school. He's starting as a freshman on a back line of upperclassmen, Jordan Slack, Olabaria, and McLaughlin, all seniors, McLaughlin a junior. So that experience showing he played for the U19 United States national team this summer, and the highly touted Montalvo is going to be a superstar here at GCU under Shellis Hinman at the defense.
Yeah, Jordan Slack actually didn't start a lot of games last year. He started in only 5 and attempted 1 shot was all, but I feel like this year is starting off a little bit different for him. You can tell he's playing a little bit more confidently than he has in the past, and, you know, looks to kind of have a come out last year, being his senior year, originally from England. Stay up to date on all your GCU news at news.gcu.edu. Find stories, pictures, videos, and more at news.gcu.edu.
Clock has just gone over to the 38th minute of play here. Lopes still lead 1-0. Lopes and the Jaguars here on a Thursday night of soccer here in the Valley of the Sun. Neblis wins what looked to be a throw-in, but they're going to say it ricocheted back off of Neblis. And the Jaguars have a throw-in near side. And Jai with the ball. He finds Ayala.
GCU has actually allowed the fewest amount of goals in the WAC this year, with only 5. That's along with Utah Valley.
And the Lopes are really going to be that defensive juggernaut all season long with that experienced back four. With Kendall Day in goal as a senior, Montalvo playing for the U19 national team, the Lopes are really going to be somebody and a team that teams don't want to face because they know that they're not going to get a lot of shots on goal, and you're seeing that again tonight. The Jaguars only have 1 shot, and it wasn't on goal. The Lopes have 4 shots so far, with a goal here in the first half, 39th minute. And if the Lopes can start putting a bunch of goals in the back of the net, they're going to be really scary to play against here once WAC season gears up. Good play there from Jordan Slack to win the ball back, and careless pass from Say, and the Jaguars are back in possession. Playing it all the way out to the right side. Chuchamau with the ball.
You got to give Kendall Day, you know, most of that credit for those stops. You know, he's played all 450 minutes in goal for GCU this season.
And he's really going to be that last man of defense, the goalkeeper's last man of defense. He was really asked to be a more vocal leader this year, being vocal, reorganizing the back as the goalkeeper, as a captain of this team, a big leader of this team. We saw it before the game started, pumping up his team in the middle of that huddle. he doesn't get a touch of the ball every single time, and that's how you have to lead with your voice instead of leading with your feet. And that's something the goalkeeper needs to do. Is this ball's whipped in from Jordan Slack, but right into the hands of Gray. You're going to hear us say Jordan Slack's name a lot tonight. He's going to be the provider all night long. Say's going to be the creator along with Alex Hollis. And Montalvo and McLaughlin are going to be the ones touching the ball the most with their feet as the ball gets brought to them. Hollis brought down outside the area, no call. Fancy footwork, step overs from Hollis, and he'll find Radia. Give and go between Radia, Del Monte, and Del Monte. The little guy gets barreled over by Nathan Silva, the smallest guy in the field. Del Monte at 5'6", getting barreled over there outside the area. And this is a threatening position for the Lopes. Alex Hollis and Alejandro Radia looking like they might be standing over it.
Got plowed over by the freshman, Nathan Silva. He stands at 5'10", so a little bit of a height difference there.
Yeah, and Del Monte, when they're Del Monte, I keep saying that his name's backwards. But Alex Hollis will whip this ball in. Far post, great ball. That came from the training ground. They're going to give it back to the Jaguars, that ball, trying to find the head of Montalvo. And they definitely worked on that at practice. The quick kick off of the free kick to the back post where no defenders were. Montalvo was completely unmarked. Unfortunate that it just went over the top of his head. And the Jaguars have another throw in here in the 42nd minute. 3 minutes until halftime. No stoppage time here in college soccer. As soon as the clock hits 45, the half is ended. Jaguars threatening on the top of the area, but Olabarria gets a good clearance there. Damian Herman looks to have caused an offsides call, but the center referee does not call it. The AR had risen his flag for offsides. This ball is going to get all the way out of bounds for a goal kick for the Grand Canyon Antelopes.
Contemporary Christian Band and GMA Dove Award winner Casting Crowns makes its return to GCU Arena this fall on September 23rd at 7:30 p.m. Joining the band is 5-time Grammy nominee Matt Marr and newcomer Hannah Kerr. Get your tickets at gcuarena.com.
McLaughlin and Montalvo back in possession in their own half. Montalvo looking for a long ball. He tries to find Damian Herman. Radia tries to win that ball back on the far side. It's going to go out of bounds for the Jaguars. Throw in Jags. Ball's all the way out to Silva on the near side. Jaguars trying to threaten down the left-hand side, but Nieblas with a sliding tackle gets the ball out of bounds. Throw in Jaguars, right down the line to Njai. It's going to go out of bounds. Throw in Antelopes. 44th minute here, just about 90 seconds away from halftime.
Jaguars really feeling the pressure too. You can tell, they get a little bit stagnant, seems midway through the first half, but now they really feel that pressure to really score, before the end of the half. No team likes to go in defeated into halftime.
1-0 here. Jordan Slack wins the ball back, finds Alex Hollis.
Hollis with that impeccable footwork. You can see him attacking and attacking. He doesn't give up. He has energy on every single play. And that gives the whole team momentum. They see his energy with the ball and with the defender. And that carries over into their individual play as well.
Yeah, Hollis is so good with the ball at his feet. It's artwork out there what he does with the ball, and it's fun to watch sometimes. You stop talking almost as you just watch him play with the ball at his feet. watching a fantastic athlete play something and do something that he loves.
And that has to come from a Syracuse experience too, to get recruited to a top university like that and to play so much and to be a top-ranked player, and to potentially go over and play professionally. Those skills, are intact. He has those skills, and there's no doubt about it.
As the clock winds down to 45 minutes, Lopes lead 1-0 here over the Jaguars of IUPUI. We'll be right back here after a short break to go over the keys to the game and an interview with Alejandro Adia. You're watching here on GCU TV here at GCU Stadium.
Founded on the belief that the entrepreneurial dream is an engine that drives innovation forward in a global marketplace, the Colangelo College of Business educates and develops values-driven business leaders. Our graduates exemplify the principles of servant leadership and entrepreneurship. GCU's strong Christian identity informs the education you receive, integrating our Christian values with the business curriculum. The college features more than 25 programs from the bachelor through the master's level, catering to traditional, evening, and online students. These programs serve a diverse set of aspiring business professionals who not only learn in the classroom, but gain real-world experience operating actual businesses. Our students also receive unique access to Jerry Colangelo's legendary experience, leadership, and connections throughout the business world. Find out more at gcu.edu/business.
I am Laura Lozoya, and I am majoring in biology with an emphasis in pre-med at Grand Canyon University. The dorm life at GCU definitely helped me build relationships, and I've made great friends on this campus. The quality education here is great. You're testing your limits, but you're going beyond them. It all comes together. The sciences, the ethics, and just everything. It's a beautiful thing.
Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university. Visit gcu.edu.
Back to the beautiful GCU Stadium here where the GCU Lopes are leading 1-0. Pretty great first half. What do you think, Fletcher?
Lopes were able to get the ball out wide, build out of the back all night long, and they've continued to do it from the very second the ball was kicked from 0-0-0-0 to 45 minutes, and the Lopes will look to continue to do that all night long. Nikki Jackson, somebody you really like out on that field, scoring that one lone goal tonight for the Antelopes on a ball that just kind of fell to him, but right place, right time, and now it's 1-0 for the Antelopes.
That's right, and Nicky comes out with a lot of confidence. We talked about his past experience with FC Dallas and playing kind of nationally. He has that experience, he has that confidence, and that was one of the keys of the game that we talked about in pregame, was them coming out, wanting to score, wanting to be aggressive, and having that confidence early on. What do you expect from him in the second half?
He's going to continue doing what he's doing, and he's going to continue doing what him and Alejandro Adia do up top so well. Alejandro Adia, another person that played in an MLS Premier League Development League with FC Dallas. And we caught up with Alejandro Adia after the first home game, and here's a couple things about what Alejandro Adia had to say about the first game of the season.
We might have had a little setback, getting a red card, but I thought we'd fight through. The crowd really helped us, It was amazing. I just got there at the right time.
Big kick there! But napping! Damian Herman, GCU on the board.
Honestly, I just went crazy. I didn't know what to do, so I just jumped in the crowd.
4-2 over UCF for the final score.
And that was a correction on our part. That was actually Damian Herman there in that video right there, scoring that goal in that first game. That was really amazing. You could tell how excited he was, how pumped up he was. He said, I really had no idea what to do, so I just jumped in the crowd. And we were joking earlier that we need to come up with a name for that, maybe the Thunder Jump or something like that, because that kind of seems to be the theme, them jumping into the Havoc section and seeing the fans. And the fans get excited, the players get excited. That's just the overall atmosphere of the stadium, here in this game, let alone all the games, even the women's games. The excitement is just unbelievable.
Yeah, the excitement in athletics is all around us. We can see it here tonight. We'll see it in the basketball season. But there's also excitement about Ethington Theater and what Ethington Theater does. And Mousetrap just ended up, and they're getting ready to gear up for another production at Ethington Theater. And Mousetrap just finished up, and here's a little bit about Mousetrap production.
My favorite thing about this play has been really the script work. This was one of the first shows that I've gone through, especially before rehearsals even started, and figured out what my character's like, what his interactions with everyone else is like, and then just put me into this frenzy work of how can I make myself fit into the director's vision. And that has just made me grow so much as an actor over this process.
I play Mrs. Boyle, so that was a lot of fun, learning the dialect and being an old lady and being cranky. It's always great to come to rehearsal and just kind of let your stress of the day out by just being Mrs. Boyle and being cranky and angry.
It's entertaining, man. It keeps you entertained all the way through. There's really not a lot of downtime for you to kind of relax your brain, and we did that on purpose. It's by design that we're able to get you thinking that maybe this guy did it, and we get you maybe thinking maybe this guy did it, and it's kind of this roller coaster. There's not a dull moment in the show if you're paying attention. We really appreciate a good audience. Having a full house does something to us as actors on the stage to kind of empower us. We definitely appreciate when people bring their families and kind of get them involved in the thing and tell their friends about what we have going on here, because it's a good show.
And once again, that was Mousetrap. That was in Ethington Theater. It was a thrilling murder mystery directed by Michael Carey. And the next performance in Ethington Theater is going to actually be Of Thee I Sing, October 14th. It's going to be a musical. And nothing but good things to say about the theater program here at GCU, so make sure you come out and check out the next musical. But let's go over a little bit about the highlights from this first half. Fletcher?
Yeah, absolutely. Good things happening all night long for the Lopes. A ball over the top for the Jaguars. A little tussle in the middle of the field. Ball long over the top for Herman there. Jordan Slack whipping in a dangerous ball there. Olabaria taken down in the box, no call there. Lopes continuing to threaten all night long. Del Monte Wedner trying to find Herman there, just too far for him. Another Jaguars attempt blocked and thwarted there by the Lopes. Dangerous ball from Del Monte there, just cleared off the line. And the Lopes have been doing good things all night long. And they're going to continue to build out of the back. And this is where the Lopes score. The ball just gets scuffed up there by the Jaguars, and Jackson puts it in the back of the net. And the Lopes are going to continue to build out of the back. They're going to continue to play through McLaughlin and Montalvo and Jordan Slack. Jordan Slack's going to whip in a bunch of balls into the middle. And eventually a white shirt's going to get the ball falling at their feet or on top of their head, just like we saw last time the Lopes came here and home. Jordan Slack whipping a ball in and Nikki Jackson heading it into the back of the net. Lopes are going to continue to pound down that right side, and eventually the wall is going to fall down.
And this is the first matchup between the Lopes and the Jaguars, and we talked about how that kind of might affect the first half. We didn't really see it from the Lopes, in the first half. They came out strong, they came out aggressive. I think they hit the keys that they wanted to. Now on the Jaguar side, they're coming out a little bit slow. You could see they picked it up later on into the half. Then they felt a little bit pressured. What do you think they're feeling right now?
They were definitely comfortable once that first 25 minutes was finished. They settled into what they were doing. They realized what the Lopes were going to do all night long, which was get the ball out of the back, get it wide, and cross the ball into the middle. And then they felt a little bit of pressure, but I don't think they realized a bunch of pressure, but they felt that they weren't able to get what they wanted to do done because the Lopes defense is a solid at the back. It's a solid wall that's going to be very hard to break down all season long. A very experienced back line for the Lopes, and they're going to continue to play like that all season long and hopefully hold teams to no goals like they have tonight.
I definitely think, like we had talked about in pregame, that they needed this momentum. They really needed this game. They were coming off a road loss and a road win. and they're going into a big game against Pacific on Sunday. That's also going to be another important game. So I think this really is going to carry over. If they can really clutch this win tonight, I think it'll be big progress. It's going to be the timing that they need and the game that they need. And like Alex Hayes had said, they want to score, they want to be seen, and they want to get on top of the WAC conference in order to win that championship, trophy at the end of all of this, because that's, the main goal. As this year we still can't compete in nationals, but leading into next year, that's going to be a goal up there too, and that's not impossible. They've started off kind of slow, but I think this is really going to be, a key game into the progression for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think we saw in the first 5 minutes that there wasn't going to be a run and gun kind of situation like you might see or expect to see in a team coming against a team that's 17 to goal differential. The Lopes are playing patiently and calmly, and that's what you like to see. You don't want to see a team get frantic knowing, we can score a bunch of goals. We're going to try to run up the score. But playing your game every single game is why it's 1-0, because you could have gotten 4 goals scored for the Lopes, but they could have been completely a disaster at the back if they tried to just score a bunch of goals and have Montalvo and McLaughlin get selfish and try to score goals as defenders, knowing that the IUPUI defense wasn't as strong as theirs. But they played their game, and they're up 1-0, and we'll look to see if they decide to throw a little bit more numbers forward and try to get more goals in the back of the net.
That's right. And we'll see what happens in the second half, and we'll see where this leads. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
GCU is the university that never sleeps, moving at the speed of light. And now GCU is leading in the area of computer science and IT. With over 200 university degree programs across 9 colleges on campus and online, join the most inventive concept in education today. Fast track options available with courses in cybersecurity, cloud computing, and systems architecture. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu/IT. At GCU, earning your degree online doesn't have to be without the college experience. To find your purpose, it takes support from those around you. GCU's leadership offers over 3 decades of experience in delivering real-world degree programs online. GCU's online class size averages less than 17 students with full-time faculty and student advisors. Find your purpose online at Grand Canyon University. Call us today at 855-428-7692.
Finding the right college isn't always simple. The choices I make today affect where I'll be tomorrow. That's why I chose Grand Canyon University. Here I'm working toward a greater purpose and a place that feels like home. With scholarships to help me earn my degree, I can graduate in less than 4 years. By attending GCU, Arizona's premier private Christian university, I know I'm not just making the right choice, I'm making the smart choice.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
And welcome back to the beautiful GCU Soccer Stadium tonight. It's a great night to come out and watch some soccer. Your Lopes lead 1-0 over the IUPUI Jaguars. And looking at these box scores right now, the name that obviously really sticks out is Nicky Jackson. He has 2 shots on goal, and of course he has the 1 goal in this game. He's going to really be a key player going into the second game. And we're going to kind of go back over the keys of the game from the beginning. We had talked about scoring a lot. Alex had spoke about that when we talked to him earlier in the week. And IUPUI has been outscored once again 17-2 in these past games, and that really needed to be taken advantage of, and I think we've done that. We've done that well going in. We've had confidence, but like we spoke at the half, not too much confidence. They didn't want to come out and make the mistake of just thinking they can score on the Jaguars. But of course that's in the back of their mind, and they're keeping it calm, keeping it collected, and playing well. Also, Say is being a force. We've said his name again and again. He's being the middle of the pitch, and he's really playing strong, playing confident, knowing what to do. And, he again, with him and Nicky Jackson, are key players. And, of course, confidence is major key, as we keep repeating. They play with the same confidence that they have all season. They come out with confidence knowing that this is a weaker team and knowing that this is the perfect timing in their schedule to come out with a win and carry that momentum into their game on Sunday and into the rest of the season. And I think Coach couldn't be more happier with how the first half has gone. They've played with confidence if they stayed collected.
Absolutely. Coming into the game, they know that they had only won 1 of 4 games in their last road trip, playing 4 games away from home. Lopes needed to build off of what they had done that first game against UCF. And I think they've done exactly that. They haven't come out and scored 4 goals like they did against UCF, but they've come out and executed a game plan that Shellis Heidemann and his staff have created, and I think that that's something that the Lopes will really look to be proud of. They've done exactly what their coaches have told them to do. They're up 1-0. They got a little bit lucky that the ball fell to Nikki Jackson, but the offensive threats are there, and they're going to be continue to be there all night long, and we'll look to see if they can continue to do that here in the second half. We'll go over who's starting. It looks like it's going to be the same starters. Nikki Jackson's trotting back out to the huddle. But Taylor, what's something that you think that the Lopes can work on to continue on what they had in the first half?
I think, you can always work on many things. I think, having a good half, having a strong half, is great and awesome, but I think there's always things you can improve on, and I think defense is still going to be one of them. I know that this isn't a strong offensive team, but, that can get away from you. That knowing that they aren't strong offensively can make you lack on the defensive side. So I think staying strong and staying confident in their defense, not letting any balls go by, and staying aggressive, as Alex has actually done. He's been great on ball. He's been great, one-on-one with other players. So I think remaining strong in that aspect. Also having the speed. They can't come out slow in the second half. They started just a tad slow in the first half, but that comes with the nature of not knowing the team, never have facing the Jaguars before. So you can't come out slow even though you're on top. They need to come out with more aggression and really score early on to kind of capture this win.
Yeah, and I'd really like to see IUPUI come out with a little bit more of an urgency here in the second half. I'm sure that their head coach told them that there are things that they can do to stay in this ball game. They're only down 1-0. And I'm sure Barrett told them that, hey, we're only down 1-0. You guys can do this. You guys got to come out with some urgency. And I really like to see them come out with some urgency, not just sit back knowing that they're trailing 1-0. I like to see them pressure our defense here, see what the Lopes defense is really made of. And maybe we'll get a really, really good game on our hands. We have a good one right now. It's 1-0, but maybe we'll get a little bit of some contention here in the second half. The Lopes fans back on their feet.
Yeah, if there is one thing I do want to see, I would like them to, attack Kendall. I'd like to see him really play, really get some ball action, and really see what he is made of. It's his senior year. I want to see him. I want to see him play, in action as goalie. And I think the Jaguars hopefully will come out a little bit hotter this second half.
Yeah, absolutely. A dangerous ball out wide from Say. Olivario wins it first, and the Lopes will slow it back down after some quick play from both sides to open up the second half.
It's always good to see the crowd stick around after the half, too, especially when we're leading. You want to keep that momentum going. You want to keep the fans around to see what happens. Like we said, the Jaguars might come back, 1-0. There's still so much game left to play. Sometimes, the game really starts in the second half. We've seen that a lot with the women going into the half 0-0. Things can really change on either side.
Jaguars are moving back down. Sideline here, but a goal kick for the Antelopes. Kendall Day will take it. Sean Sia had worked his way down the right sideline for the Jaguars. Jaguars now moving from left to right after the halftime switch. The Lopes moving from right to left, wearing all white. The Jaguars in all maroon with gold / tan trim down the sides of their jerseys.
The funny thing, too, is that I noticed that the Jaguars actually have a little bit of height on us GCU Lopes, but that might attribute to, their slowness, too. We're a little bit shorter. We're a little bit faster. They're a little bit taller, a little bit bigger than us.
Yeah, but Olivaria, Hector Montalvo, Say, and McLaughlin are pretty big guys there, as number 9, Macias, works his way into the box, but a good defensive tackle there from Montalvo. Stays on his feet and gets the ball clear. Macias and Aguilar there threatening the Lopes attack after McLaughlin had fallen down and slipped on the pitch.
Montalvo actually was a highly recruited. He represented, like we said, the U.S. in the U19 national team, played for FC Dallas. And actually, before the season even started, he was named Top Drawer Soccer's freshman first team as one of the 2 best center backs in the country, which is really respectable.
Absolutely. He's got a future here at GCU at the back, and he's got a future if he stays healthy with the United States men's national team.
That's right.
Center back positions being a little bit of question for Jurgen Klinsmann and his men's national team. A bunch of shuffling at the back for the men's national team, but Hector Montalvo is going to be somebody that maybe down the line you start hearing his name in the press about the United States men's national team. Olabarria playing a very long, deep ball over the top. Unable to get there.
He comes in at the right time too, you know, with the probation ending this year and being able to play in the national tournament. Next year, he has a lot of time to really be successful here in the GCU program. I think Coach Heineman knew that, you know, got him at the right time, and it's really perfect timing for both him and the entire team.
Yeah, absolutely, and the probation isn't a bad probation. The Lopes are in a transition period from Division II to Division I. They are not allowed to go to NCAA tournament for 4 years. This is their last year of ineligibility, and multiple athletic programs proving that they are adequate enough to participate after multiple programs have won conference championships. And the basketball team won 27 wins last season. Soccer team looking to make a statement this season, prepare for next season here in the Southwest, the only Division I men's soccer team in the state of Arizona. Hollis with the free kick from the corner, low and cleared all the way back out to Hollis. A big first touch there, very hard to do when the ball's coming down from that high of a point. Ball into Nikki Jackson is headed into a Jaguars defender. Hollis clears it right out to Herman, but he's going to be flagged for offsides in the middle of the field.
Trending Faith Season 3 has begun on GCU.TV. Watch new episodes this fall as your questions about Christian life are answered by Dr. Jason Hiles, Dean of the College of Theology and Grand Canyon Theological Seminary, and Tim Griffin, GCU's University Pastor and Dean of Students. Send your questions to trendingfaith@gcu.edu or use the hashtag trendingfaith. Watch new episodes at gcu.tv.
Jaguars have slowly moved the ball up the Lopes half. Macias and Aguilar really doing good things for the Jaguars so far this game. And in the second half, Aguilar finds Cia on the right side. Cia working on Olabarria, but Olabarria keeps his feet and uses a good shielding, using his body to win a free kick. Cia fouling the senior defender for the Lopes. Kendall Day will take a quick free kick, and now he'll get the ball back at his feet.
Aguilar of the Jaguars is just a freshman. He actually was part of the Indiana Fire Development Academy, and he played with the U18 Chicago Fire Developmental Academy. So you see a lot of these young players, you know, who are making their college debut and getting a lot of game time coming from these, you know, either training camps or national teams or developmental camps. And I think that's really critical in college play, you know, to get that early experience, that early playing time.
Yeah, and Aguilar played for a very good Chicago Fire team. Chicago Fire, one of the original MLS soccer clubs in the United States. And the Chicago Fire bringing in Jermaine Jones last season for their team. Highly touted and big name in men's soccer internationally and in the United States men's national team program, playing in the World Cup for the United States. Bad touch there from Hector Montalvo. And now Souza and Macias looks to attack there. The ball is deflected off of an antelope, but Macias has the ball on the far side. Montalvo wins it back well there, and now he's countering. Finds Alex Hollis. Hollis working down the center of the pitch. Finds Nikki Jackson. Nikki Jackson keeps the ball at his feet. Out wide to Radia. Herman making a run to the end line. Calm play, good 1-2 touch there. Whipped in, but right in the hands of the goalkeeper Gray for the Jaguars. He'll roll the ball out to Souza.
Josh Gray, only a sophomore for the Jaguars. He only made 2 appearances last year as a freshman, but playing obviously a lot more this year, coming out in just about every game so far for the Jaguars this season.
Played in 4 of 5 games, allowed 12 goals through 3.5 total games played. And Lopes will reset defensively and offensively. Say McLaughlin and Montalvo working out of the back, little triangle that they've created all night long. Ball over the top to Jordan Slack is flicked on by the Jaguars defender Silva. And out of bounds, throw in Antelopes. Nikki Jackson working in the middle of the field inside the 18-yard box, but nothing doing there. Anderson wins the ball back. Defender Anderson and Macias working offensively for the Jaguars, but nothing working there. Nikki Jackson, strong work from Jackson. He slots it home down the right side. Goal GCU, Nikki Jackson's second of the game.
Just like we said, everything we expect from Nikki Jackson. If we're going to expect someone to score, it's going to be Nikki Jackson. That was an awesome, awesome play.
Absolutely stunning from Nikki Jackson there, using his strength against Anderson, the center back for the Jaguars. Good, strong play from both players there, no fouls at all. And Jackson just getting the better of Anderson there defensively, using his strong frame that he has. He's not super tall, Jackson, standing at just 6'1", but he's very good, and he knows exactly what he's doing once he gets the ball. And when he realized that Anderson was on the ground, he calmly put the ball away down the right side. Now he's got 2 goals this game.
What I like about Jackson, too, is that he's very savvy. You know, he's fast, but in a smart way. You know, he has that hustle where he knows where to get in right at the right moments. And so he plays very smart, he plays very savvy, and he's poised, you know, with his touches, with his kicks, and, you know, makes great plays like that to score big.
He's a very professional goal scorer for the Antelopes, scoring his 4th goal of the season, his 2nd tonight. Bad touch there from Olabaria. And the Jaguars are back in possession now. And Nikki Jackson coming in as the 2nd leading goal scorer on the team after Roberto Sanchez Garcia left the team, graduating as a senior last year. Now Nikki Jackson's the senior goal scorer for the Lopes.
He's actually, after 10 shots this past weekend, he's second in the Western Athletic Conference with 15 shots, and he might go up after this weekend, you know, playing tonight and then against Pacific on Sunday. He might be in the top of the conference.
And when I say a senior goal scorer, I don't mean senior by age, I mean senior by example, being the most, scoring the most goals for the Antelopes. The ball's out wide to Herman. He has Radia running down the left side towards the corner. He finds Alex Hollis, a good backflip.
It looked good.
Damian Herman's shot is to the right of Gray instead of to the left towards that back post. Herman wins the ball back. That's Hollis, actually, but there's going to be a foul called. Great 1-2 there from Hollis and Herman, just unable to get the ball off of from underneath his foot there, and the ball goes into Gray's grateful reach. That could have put the Lopes up 3-0.
You almost want to see Herman score just because of how excited he gets, as we saw in the video at halftime. You know, he scored the first goal in the brand new stadium when they opened their season here a few weeks back.
That has to be an absolutely thrilling feeling, knowing that nobody else has ever scored in the stadium.
That's right.
And I was the first one to do it. And it was a fun play. It caught all of us off guard. He just ran down a ball that the goalkeeper Took too heavy of a touch on.
And that was just 4 minutes into the game as well. So very early on, you know, we saw the crowd get so excited so fast, and it really set the ambiance for the entire evening.
And he did something I like to call the thunder jump or the lope leap kind of thing, similar to the Lambeau leap, just jumping into the stands after scoring a touchdown. The Green Bay Packers, the Lopes, jumping into the purple fencing that surrounds the field into the grateful arms of the celebrating fans. That's something that I've always loved watching in soccer internationally, was fans being able to celebrate with their favorite players after scoring a goal. A ball in from the midfield for the Lopes is just too far for Jordan Slack. The ball will go into the hands of Gray, who was off his line quickly to collect that one.
Blogs.gcu.edu is a great place to learn more about a wide variety of topics from GCU colleges, as well as student life and spiritual life. Find out more at blogs.gcu.edu.
Nieblis brought down on the far side will win a free kick for the Lopes. They'll move quickly. Say we'll find McLaughlin, who will get it out wide to Olabaria, who's been moved over to left back tonight. No Amr Sasaverovic tonight for the Lopes. Nicky Jackson with the ball in the midfield uses his strength to hold off a Jaguars defender. The Lopes continue to keep possession here in the 59th minute. Up 2-0 on the Jaguars of IUPUI. Nieblis kicks that one into the head of Joshua Ayala. The Jaguars will look to play up the right side. CSC with the ball, working on Olabaria. Olabaria wins the ball back. Hollis with the ball. A fantastic weighted ball over to Nicky Jackson in the corner near side. Nicky Jackson working on his defender, Ben Thornton. And Jackson wins a corner kick. Good reward for his efforts there. 1-on-3 as 3 Jaguars were condensing on him. Hallis with the free kick duties all night long. Look to offer in a quality ball here.
Nicky Jackson being one of the more aggressive GCU Lopes out there. But it seems to work for him. Seems to work for him down low when he gets closer to the net.
Lopes are crowding the keeper. Shot by Nieblis. Gets all the way out wide after a deflection. Hallis back with the ball. He'll whip one in far corner. And Montalvo just can't get there. Gray with the hands to the ball first.
It's actually a big weekend for all GCU athletics as the women's volleyball heads to Sacramento for a tournament. They'll play Cal Poly, Sacramento State, and then Nevada this weekend. GCU cross country is also in Tucson at the Dave Murray Invitational tomorrow evening. And then, of course, soccer picks back up on Sunday here in GCU Stadium.
McLaughlin, Say, and Montalvo just really owning the ball right now. Just keeping possession, playing calmly, playing relaxed, and that's really something that coaches will harp on at this age. Once you get above that 8th grade age, is just play calmly, play relaxed, play smoothly, and play your game. Don't get too frantic on the ball. Just play as if you have a lot of time, even though you don't have a lot of time. Play quickly, but play relaxed at the same time. McLaughlin finds Alejandro Radia, and Radia will find Hollis in the midfield. The Lopes looking to build here on the near side. Olabaria with the ball. He'll find McLaughlin, and they'll switch it all the way back over to Montalvo on the right. Back into the middle with Say. Foul called just inside the attacking third for the Jaguars. Silva will get over the top of it. Excuse me, Souza. Ian Souza from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He's a freshman.
There's a few guys from Rio, actually.
The site of the 2016 Olympics that just finished up. Brazil winning the gold medal in soccer in the 2016 Olympics. 3-on-5 opportunity here for the Lopes. Ball kicked forward, but Alex Hollis gets on the wrong side of Anderson there, and the Jaguars are back in possession.
We're kind of seeing what we wanted to see a little bit more from the Jaguars. You know, not quite as what we hoped, but they're coming out a little bit more hot, a little bit more on their feet, aware of what's going on, and I'm guessing feeling the pressure now that the score is 2-0. You know, they have to get something done. They have to move quickly. They have to be a little bit more aggressive than they've been, you know, and they have to play aware and, like you said, with urgency. And I'm guessing that's what, you know, Coach Barrett is kind of enforcing in them, you know, as people are subbing in and out. They're telling them, hustle, play aggressive, get something done out there.
Yeah, Ben Barkoff into the game for Niblas. He'll be slotted in on that right side.
Coach Barnett actually making a few substitutions here. Looks like 3 guys are about to come in. What does that kind of tell you when a coach, you know, kind of subs out quite often?
Chipped over the top, and a ball cleared off the line. Alex Hollis trying to do things on the end line here for the Lopes. As 3 substitutions get prepared to come in, Hollis still working, and it's going to be a corner kick for the Antelopes. Getting fresh legs out there for the Jaguars.
Yeah, Coach Barnett subbing quite often. Fletcher, what does that kind of mean, you know, for the team? Is he feeling a little, you know, under pressure? Is he just kind of wanting to get fresh bodies in there? What does that mean for the Jags?
He's just getting guys back on the field that have been in the game, and he's just getting some fresh players on. He knows that his players have been playing well here in the second half, even though they're down 2-0, and they'll look to get something going offensively. They've had success down the right side with Sia. Short corner here for the Lopes. Hollis whips in a deep ball. He looks like that one was a shot way over the top of the net. Was Hollis's shot. And Austin Day came into the game for Jordan Slack, seeing his first action of tonight's game. First 2 substitutions in the second half for the Antelopes. Lopes lead 2-0 here in the 65th minute.
Austin Day, also another freshman who played for FC Dallas. He actually was a part of the team that won the Dallas Cup Championship and made appearance in the National Championship Finals tournament as a defender. Second team All-State selection, and also was District Offensive Player of the Year. So even these young freshmen who aren't seeing as much game time have quite a reputable resume and experience. So it says a lot about the depth of the GCU team, you know, the future of the team and the potential of what's to come. And I think Hyman can really, you know, sleep peacefully knowing that these specific players are on his team.
Barkoff has actually been slotted over to the left side, and Herman has moved over to the right side. Yellow card has been assessed to Alejandro Radia. There's some pointing and yelling going on between Radia right now and the center referee.
We've seen a lot of good men's action here. Get engaged with GCU on social media. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU.
Yellow card has been assessed to Alejandro Radia in the 66th minute here. The first caution of the match. Sia gets past Olabari on the right side, plays it across the middle, but it just goes over the top and just misses a Jaguar's foot there. And Lopes are countering quickly now. Radia with the ball, working in through the midfield. 1-2 with Hollis.
finds
It's a good pass.
Herman through the middle, but Herman's going to get flagged for offsides.
Alejandro Radia, just a sophomore. He started all 17 games last year, so, you know, still being a young player, but still with a lot of experience. But you can still tend to maybe make those, you know, unfortunate decisions that lead to, you know, a caution call, a yellow card, which, you know, can be okay in a game, you know, such as this where you're kind of up, but in more critical games, those can really be big errors.
Yeah, Alejandro Radia really impressed me last year, and he started in 17 games, as you said, and that's exactly what Shellis Hindman has thought too, as he continues to start games and be a successful midfielder for the Lopes. Ben Barkov working hard down the left side, step over after step over, and he wins a throw-in for his efforts. Like to see that out of a fresh sub. Fantastic combination play between the Lopes all game long. Quick 1-2 passes off of the body. You see Ben Barkov trip over the sod here at GCU Stadium. I walked the pitch this evening. It was a little bit dry, a little bit hard. So the ball's been moving a little bit slower than it would if it was completely watered down and a little bit wet with a little bit of slick to it. But the Lopes are taking advantage of this beautiful surface that they have here. And they've won a free kick here just outside the area, about 23 yards from goal.
Summer rates are still available at the Grand Canyon University Championship Golf Course. Play the stunning course at unbelievably low rates. Get your tee times today at gcugolf.com. Another plus of living in the Valley of the Sun. You can golf pretty much all year round here.
Absolutely. And I have friends that work at the golf courses. This ball's whipped in far post, headed through, and it's going to get down for a goal. We'll see who it is.
Goal.
Fantastic flick on from Montalvo and Nikki Jackson. Ball whipped in far post. Nikki Jackson plays it back across, and the freshman with his first goal of the game, Montalvo. Lopes lead 3-0 here after that fantastic, unselfish play from Nikki Jackson. Hector Montalvo with the goal.
Hector Montalvo, you know, played smart right there. He was in a good position. All the Lopes really were positioned well. Nikki Jackson positioned well. They got aggressive in their low and really made the right moves. He couldn't be happier as a freshman having that goal either, you know. He was highly recruited, as we had said before, you know, played on the national team, played for FC Dallas. He has a lot of experience. You could see it didn't even faze him that he had scored. You know, he came in like, yep, that's what I was supposed to do. I was in the right spot and it worked, you know, not even going to get that excited. Third goal of the game now.
And you still saw it, though, being his first goal of the season, his first goal for GCU. You could see it in his body language, even though he was trying to hide it. He was super excited to score that goal. Lopes lead 3-0 after that fantastic set-piece play for the Antelopes. Ball sent in deep towards the far post. Nikki Jackson completely unmarked. He'll head it back across the frame of goal, and Montalvo has now worked his way off of his defender. Jaguars defender got caught ball watching, and Montalvo just taps it in for the third goal of the game, his first of the season for the Antelopes. On the stat sheet, it said that the goal went to Nikki Jackson. We'll see if it ever gets corrected. Ball flicked on there from a new player, number 26 for the Antelopes. That's Daniel Moreno. He's from Pasto, Colombia, a freshman here on the Antelope squad. As of right now, Nikki Jackson with the hat trick.
Yeah, from Columbia, but he actually attended Desert Mountain High School in Scottsdale, played for Real Salt Lake, where he helped them break the national goal record with 8 goals in 2015, leading them into the national championship game. So again and again, you know, it kind of sounds like the same book that all these freshmen have quite reputable reputations coming into their first year. go ahead and possibly play this replay of the goal and see. This was Montalvo or Jackson with this
Jackson
goal.
plays it across. And unless they're saying that the ball was already across the line, which it didn't look like it, Montalvo just helped that across.
Yeah.
In the locker room, they might joke around that Nikki Jackson was going to score, but technically, that goal should go to Hector Montalvo. But right now, Nikki Jackson with the goal, his third of the game. In the 72nd minute here at GCU Stadium, Lopes lead 3-0. Ben Barkoff had just tried to get the ball down the left side, a sliding tackle from the defender, Coyote Tyler. Lopes back in possession now.
They're either going to joke with Nikki Jackson that he did or did not score the goal, or they're going to say, hey, share the ball a little, let someone else score. But it was a great play by both players indeed.
Everybody looking to get on the score sheet, especially defenders who don't get on the score sheet very often. So Montalvo will probably be joking around in the locker room after the game saying, hey, you know that was my goal. But anyway, the Lopes are up 3-0, and you can't complain if you're winning 3-0. A great defensive read there by the Antelopes. Bad pass after the fact from number 23, Austin Day, playing in the game. Austin Day and Kendall Day, to our knowledge, have no relation. Austin Day from Frisco, Texas, and Kendall Day is from Gilbert, Arizona. Olabaria with the ball, and it's going to be whistled back for an injury.
Coming into the match, number 4, Matthew King.
Matthew King into the game for the Antelopes. He will come in for what looks like an injured McLaughlin. Matthew King from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. He's a sophomore from Louis St. Laurent High School.
He appeared in 14 games last year, starting 4. He recorded 1 goal and attempted 2 shots, both on goal. Young player as well. You know, we forget that these sophomores, too, you know, in their second year, but some of them didn't see any playing time, if much, you know, their freshman year. So their sophomore year can really be their coming out year where they really get more exposure and really get comfortable having more playing time, being more confident, being more aggressive out on the field.
There will be a drop ball here after the ball was stopped for an incident off the ball. Gentleman's code. He has to kick the ball back to the team that had the ball when the whistle was blown off of the drop ball, and the Lopes will be back in possession after the respectful action by the Jaguars. Montalvo and King, the 2 center backs for the Lopes. Montalvo out wide left and Austin Day out wide right, the 4 defenders on a flat back 4 for the Antelopes. Say playing central defensive midfielder all night long for the Lopes, being an enforcer and a creator for the Antelopes. Playing dangerous long balls to every which way, spraying balls around the park. Andy Alanis into the game for Nikki Jackson. The goal scorer scored all 3 goals. The goals have all been accredited to Nikki Jackson.
It's got to do a lot for his confidence too, you know, going into the game against Pacific. If they, you know, obviously clutch this win tonight, they'll be 2-0 on home play. So going against, you know, their 3rd game here at home, there'll be a lot of expectations, and I think that's really going to mean a lot both for Nikki Jackson and the entire team going in to play Pacific on Sunday.
Ball tried to get through to Alex Hollis, but Thornton wins the ball back and clears it out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for the Lopes. Ben Barkoff just unable to get to that one.
Can't get enough Lopes gear? Go to gcuteamshop.com to find anything from clothing to coffee mugs. Show your Lopes pride and visit gcuteamshop.com.
Montalvo and Say working that one back and forth. Jaguars are back in possession, looking to counter here. They don't have a lot of numbers forward. And the Lopes will win it right back after getting back defensively, recovering after giving the ball away. And now they're back in possession. 3 more subs getting ready to come back on. Macias and Perrin coming on, as well as another player. Can't see the number of the other third player coming on for the Jaguars.
It is nice to see on the Lope side too when you're up 3-0 late in the game like this. You know, some of those younger players, some of those more inexperienced players do get to have some playing time, and that's always nice to see because, you know, it gives them a little bit more confidence, gives them, you know, game time that they might not have otherwise seen throughout the season, and that can say a lot. You know, that gives them time to show other stuff as well, so that's just as important.
Ball ping-ponging around inside the area after Hollis tried to find Radia and Herman streaking. Ben Barkov target in the middle there for Day. The ball falls to Radia. Herman with a shot, just wide to the left of the post. Goal kick for the Jaguars. All 3 substitutions will come on now. Macias, Perrin, and Simakula back into the game. All 3 have seen action tonight, all 3 starters. And they'll come back in for the Jaguars here in the 77th minute of play. Just under a quarter of an hour left in the game. Lopes lead 3-0, all goals off the foot or head of Nikki Jackson.
The Jaguars staying confident though. You know, you can see them not really getting down. When the subs are coming in and out, they still have a lot of energy. They're still keeping their head high. You can see the coach is still, you know, amped up. They haven't given up yet on this game, even though, you know, they're clearly down 3-0. They're bringing some speed. And they really, you know, you've got to give them a little bit of credit that they have played a lot better than the first half. They've come out a little bit more attacking, a little bit more confident, more aggressive. That's all you can do is just to hope to improve and keep playing well throughout the game.
Both teams playing better in the second half than the first half. Ball stolen away by Patrick Ring. Hollis with the ball, just saved by Gray. What a save by Gray there for the Jaguars. Coming back to defend an empty net, getting his chest in front of the ball to save that one.
Got the replay here. Oh, it looked so good too. You got to give Gray the credit right there. He really got low and quick and got that ball. Looked good from our angle.
Daniel Moreno playing that ball in. Alex Hollis will stand over the ball. Damian Herman coming out of the game for the Antelopes. Ball whipped in and just cleared by the Jaguars. Moreno's shot is way over the top of the netting, and it's going to go towards the Kaibab building, the enrollment center. Onto the bricks, completely out of the ballpark. Home run there for Moreno.
You know your GCU buildings quite well, Fletcher.
I like to think I could be a tour guide here. I've been here for 4 years.
There you
and
go.
I've seen this place grow enormously. GCU Stadium was turf fields back when I was here my freshman and sophomore year.
Sure was. Now 10,000 students on campus. Quite an enormous growth in the last few years.
There were more people.
Actually 17,000, even more than I had originally thought.
There were more people at the first soccer game for the men's game than I think were on ground.
Wow.
Living on campus my freshman year here. 6,400 here the first game. I believe it might have been 6,000, maybe 7,000 my freshman year. So that just shows a lot that this university's done over the last 4 years to grow enormously, and with plans to grow even more.
The on-campus enrollment has increased from 4,000 to 17,000 in the last 4 years. And I think that says a lot for the culture, and that leads into athletics as well. That brings in, top recruits, top athletes, and says a lot for what, athletics is doing in their programs specifically.
Barkov finds Montalvo, who finds an unmarked Olabarria. Jaime playing a ball back with his head, similar to the way Nikki Jackson did to score the third goal. But the ball is cleared off the line by the Jaguars. A threatening play thwarted there by IUPUI.
Coming to a game this fall? Be sure to come early and bring your appetite. Visit any of the Lopes Way restaurants on Lopes Way, including the new Grand Canyon Beverage Company. Enjoy the campus atmosphere and the beautiful Arizona weather by having dinner here at Lopes Way.
Hallis tried to find Alanis there before the ball got out of play. 3 substitutions getting ready to come on for the Antelopes. Steven Gonzalez, Miguel Reyes, and Andrew Peruselli coming on for the Antelopes. Here, their first action of the game. 81st minute, Lopes lead 3-0 here over the Jaguars. As Shellis Heidman looks to get in some youngsters who haven't played much this season.
That's right. That's important too. It's good to see that he does allow for them to get game time. Even being up, sometimes you see coaches who just, keep their starters out there, keep their seniors out there, but it's nice to see that these younger, less experienced guys can get in there and gain some game time.
3 freshmen coming into the game for the Antelopes. Olabarria coming off. Ben Barkov has moved back to left back. Matthew King, Montalvo, and Austin Day, the 4 defenders for the Antelopes right now. Petruselli from South Bend, Indiana, playing left midfield with Alanis, Moreno.
Petruselli was a high school standout. He attended Park High School in South Bend, and he was second team all-district selection.
Lopes playing same possession they have all night. Sia trying to force Matthew King off the ball. King wisely playing the ball back to Kendall Day. Sia finds number 28, Pedro Velado.
Another freshman from Rio.
Yellow card has been assessed to number 4, Matthew King, for his sliding tackle. King getting that yellow card, the second caution of the game for the Antelopes. Velado will take the free kick from the right side, near side on the screen. He'll whip it in with his right foot. Near post, Kendall Day punches it out with one hand. Del Monte wins the ball back and then is fouled by the Jaguars trying to tackle the ball off of the junior from Haiti. '84th minute here, just 6 minutes away from another Antelopes win here at home.
Just the game we needed tonight, as we've spoke over and over again. This is key timing and the great progression of the season that they've wanted to have from the beginning. And all the more they're going to need to go into WAC play towards the end of the season and hopefully have a WAC championship.
Andy Alanis flagged for offsides there. Alanis wearing number 18. Leonard Del Monte wearing number 17. The 2 forwards up top for the Lopes right now. Leading 3-0 here in the 84th minute. Ball will be flicked back by Montalvo into the hands of Kendall Day. We'll throw it out to Ben Barkov. Barkov's pass doesn't have a lot of mustard on that one. Can't get to Petruselli, but the ball is won back quickly Petrucelli with the ball, and he loses it yet again. Good work to win it back, though. And he'll get the ball back for his efforts. And he'll play it all the way back to Matthew King, let his team relax a little bit.
Still such a fast-paced game late into the game from both sides. You see both sides still making great contact with the ball and going after every ball and really playing quickly.
You can definitely see a little bit of nerves from the three freshmen that just came on, taking big touches. It's good for them, though, to get in these kind of games up 3-0 where they can make a mistake in the middle of the park and not be punished for it. So it's good for their confidence as well, knowing that, hey, like, I made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. But my team's got my back, and I know that my coach trusts me to put me into the game, and I know that I can do good things with it. Great ball there from Petrucelli, and he's going to win a yellow card. Yellow card being assessed to number 8, Joshua Ayala.
Junior from Houston, Texas.
Petrucelli bringing that ball down well out of the air. Getting his feet taken out from underneath him by Ayala. Third caution of the game. First for the Jaguars. Jaguars working the ball down the left side. Great sliding tackle there from Austin Day to let his team get back defensively behind the ball. Just about 4 minutes left in the game. Taylor, what are the Lopes looking for here with the clock winding down here in the closing minutes of this beautiful Thursday night?
I think really to honestly just enjoy it. You know, there's so much pressure I feel on, you know, a team like this coming into this game, having their second home game. There's a lot of pressure to, you know, stand out and take advantage of this weaker team. But I think just to enjoy these last few minutes, knowing they've won this game, knowing they're going into a tough game against Pacific on Sunday, I think to let the freshmen and let these younger players really stand out and gain some confidence and to just kind of soak it all in, know they've got this game. I'm sure Nikki Jackson's feeling quite happy with his performance tonight, so I think they're just kind of soaking in these last few minutes as they should.
Villado and Ben Barkoff tangling legs down near the end line on the near side. It's going to be a goal kick for the Antelopes. Kendall Day will take it, wearing all green here tonight for the Antelopes in goal.
Kendall Day, we hoped that he would get a little bit more action than he has, but I'm sure he's happy with this score, of course, so he can't complain too much. The Jaguars did pick it up, though, a lot in the second half, you know, playing a lot more aggressively. You got to give them their efforts right now, even sticking close to the ball.
Ooh, Petrucelli with a fantastic first-time shot on a volley, headed back across the face of goal after Wedner Del Monte had gotten the best of his defender. That was Miguel Reyes, the other freshman from Texas, playing the ball back across the 18-yard box with his head. Great combination play between the two freshmen and the junior walk-on from Haiti to get Petrucelli an opportunity on goal. Del Monte using his speed and quickness and foot skills to get past Tyler there.
I think you'll see Del Monte get a lot more playing time than he has, too. I think he's really had a good game, good solid efforts this game as well as in the last. So I think you should see him really be out on the field a lot more throughout the season.
Wedner Del Monte starting and playing a lot of games last year. The ball's kicked across the face of goal, but Kendall Day stops it there. Nobody really threatening on the attack, but a fantastic cross there from Njai. Lopes will switch all the way back out to Del Monte. And D will look to do something with his feet, using his speed against Tyler. He gets to the end line, but the ball just out of his reach, unable to play that ball across the face of goal. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Jaguars here in the 89th minute. Minute 30 left in the ball game. Lopes lead 3-0. And Lopes continuing to attack. We like to see that, not just realizing there's a 3-0 lead and just playing the possession with the ball. You never know what can happen when you do that. You can get lazy and the other team can score, and then all of a sudden it's not a 3-0 game. So good to see the urgency still in the mindset of the Antelopes. What are you looking for in the last minute and 20, Taylor?
Just to keep their composure, like you said. We talked early on about them not becoming overly confident or, cocky into this game. And I think they've done a good job of that, and to just kind of remain poised and let the time run out. And, keep their speed, but also keep their composure and keep their heads, especially with these young guys. That's going to be important for their progression, throughout the season as well. And they can gain that knowledge, gain that experience right here in these last few minutes winding down.
Strong play from both teams. Matthew King with the ball at his feet, but he was on the ground there with 2 maroon shirts around him. Lopes win a throw-in. Ben Barkoff playing left back right now. Shot over the top of the frame by number 9, Macias. Macias with both shots for the Jaguars. No shots on goal here tonight. Last seconds of the game winding down. Kendall Day will kick the ball at 90. And the Lopes win this one 3-0.
Right.
3 goals from Nikki Jackson.
Just the victory we needed tonight to keep this momentum. We'll talk a little bit about what the game progressed through the night and how it went and what we can expect from this weekend's game. We'll be right back.
There's a swell of excitement at GCU as the Lopes gear up for their season, and they're ready for action. The only NCAA D1 men's soccer team in the state will dominate the field at our brand new state-of-the-art 6,000-seat soccer stadium. Former MLS Coach of the Year, head soccer coach Shellis Hyman, leads this all-star squad at the epicenter for soccer in the state. Come catch all the family-friendly excitement. Games will sell out. Get your GCU season tickets today at lopestickets.com.
Hey Phoenix, it's Thunder Dan Marley, head coach at Grand Canyon University. Coming to GCU was a great move for me. Join Antelope Nation by enrolling as an evening student at our beautiful campus in the heart of Phoenix. Earn your bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree to take your career to the next level. Engage with industry expert instructors in small classroom settings where you can get the support you need to excel. Scholarships available. See you on campus. Go Lopes.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu/evening. Grand Canyon University's newly remodeled golf course is thriving in the heart of Phoenix, featuring over 7,200 yards of expansive tees and tree-lined fairways, signature par 3s, greenside bunkers, premium greens, and a brand new clubhouse and restaurant. Experience a University Championship golf course this summer with great rates as low as $15 available now. Book your tee times at gcugolf.com.
And welcome back to the very excited GCU soccer stadium right now, where you can see the players and the crowd getting a little bit excited over that 3-0 victory over the Jaguars tonight. We're going to announce that the Grand Canyon University Championship Golf Course player of the game is none other than your Nikki Jackson. I don't know if that was expected or not after his 3 goals tonight. We could have picked one of the freshmen, but I think he was well deserving of that tonight. And they had such a great victory, and he was so clutch, and we're going to look over his highlights right now.
Yeah, Nikki Jackson just finding the ball at his feet and putting it in the back of the goal clinically. In this one, he heads the ball back across frame. And then the final one, using his strength, his second goal of the game, to slot the ball past Gray for the 3rd goal of the game, using all 3 of his feet to score the goal. Or 3 body parts, his head, his feet, and his feet to score 3 goals. Fantastic performance from the junior goal scorer for the Antelopes, Nikki Jackson. And we like to see that all the time. We like to see that all season long, and we'll like to see that in their game on Sunday against Pacific. That's a 7 o'clock game. But what's coming up before that?
Before that is going to be the 1 o'clock game for the women, and we have Nikki Jackson right here on camera. Very excited win for him and for the team tonight. But like Fletcher said, he is the player of the game, and we look to see that same performance at the 7 o'clock game on Sunday, against Pacific. And the 1 o'clock game, of course, is the women's game against the Oklahoma Sooners. And there we have the graphic up for you. That's at 1 o'clock, and it's Sunday Fun Day. The first 250 students get free ice cream sundaes. And, of course, then Followed by that is the men's game against Pacific, which we've hyped up all game long. They're going to be really excited for that one, coming off this momentum of this game. This is what we expected, this is what we wanted, and this is what the team needed. So what do you think, Fletcher? Last words for us?
Nikki Jackson's going to have to come out against Pacific and do exactly what he did tonight. Score goals, score goals, score goals. Alex Hollis, Alejandro Radia, and Damian Herman are going to be a threatening four for the Lopes against Pacific. A fantastic performance here tonight by the Antelopes, winning 3-0 over the Indiana University, Purdue University of Indiana Jaguars. Lopes win 3-0 here on a beautiful Thursday night. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Sunday at 1 p.m. for the girls' game between the Oklahoma Sooners and the GCU Lady Lopes.
And one last congratulations to your Grand Canyon University golf course player of the game, Nikki Jackson. Thanks for being with us on GCU TV.